Welcome back to another episode of Fiyah Life Vlogs. As you see, I'm still in the thinking chair. And full disclosure, January I am challenging myself to vlog every single day just to get my reps up, to build consistency, to build new habits, and to fully express myself when I feel like it and whatever is going on in that moment. I have fun doing this. This part of vlogging brings me joy, so why would I not do it more frequently than not? I know last year I neglected this channel tremendously, but if you stay tuned, I will get into the further details of why. But for now, I want to talk about, this was on my mind today, success, New Year's resolutions, goals, things of that nature. I know I discussed it a little bit on yesterday's vlog, so definitely go back and check that out. I'll put the link there and in the description. And if you haven't already, follow, subscribe, share this episode with a friend. But let's get into talking about setting the tone for the new year, talking about success, what that means to me, what that means to you, and just reframing and redefining certain things that maybe we never questioned. So let's get into it. I have mentioned this before in the past on this channel about success is what you define it to be. And what I mean by that is, let's say your definition of success is rooted in what someone else told you, but then you achieve that success and you find yourself to still be empty or disappointed, or perhaps you just feel like there's something missing. I realized over the last few years that success is defined by you. It's subjective. So if I say making t-shirts for a living is my success, is what success is to me, then I'm going to go after that and make the best of that situation. If I say making $50,000 a year is successful to me, then I'm going to go after that and find multiple ways or one way to achieve that. Or maybe it's spending more time with family and friends, traveling, or exploring my city locally. All of that is what you choose to make it to be. And that's where you find your joy, your happiness, your confidence, and your foundation. Versus maybe you saw someone else get a certain job, or they're creating content for a living, but it doesn't necessarily match up with you or your personality. So you do it anyway, but you find yourself kind of stuck or lost in it. And it's not to say you shouldn't try different things, you shouldn't explore. Or what I'm getting at more so is the leadership factor of things and creating your own path. And the moments in time where I've either followed someone else's path or was highly influenced by someone else's path, or only used money as my guide, I found myself to be very disappointed. So how did I break through those habits or that mindset or that way of thinking or that programming? I read a lot of books. I hired a coach. I can't emphasize the impact of hiring a business coach has made in my life. And by the way, I have a whole real estate show called Transaction Care. I have a podcast, and then on YouTube it's called TC with Lily. But just go to transactioncare.com and you can find all of the information there. And I've had many breakthroughs working with a coach, to the point where I'm now in a phase in my life, in my career, where I'm transitioning out of the transaction coordinator role, and I want to venture more into that coaching, consulting, mentoring world. And it's scary. I'm not going to hold you. Transitioning into new careers or new branches of my business, all of the work I've done is in overdrive right now to get over and to block any insecurities or any imposter syndrome or any self-doubt that I'm experiencing. And how I replace that is, as I mentioned, with reading, educating myself, asking questions, because if I just stay stuck in this place of, okay, well, I want to be a coach, or I'm going to be a coach. I'm going to coach people in business and build their confidence and, you know, help be a professional ally for them in a sense. How can I get there? What do I need to do in the short term and the long term? And what does success in that world look like to me? Is it hundreds of clients? Is it one client? Is it volunteering? Is money even involved? So I'm in a stage right now of just redefining and reframing what my next chapter in my life looks like. And going back to the previous episode, previous vlog from yesterday, I talked about order. And there's a certain order in my brain in which all of this is happening. And I'm not going to tell you all of my goals because I want to keep some of that stuff for me. I feel sometimes oversharing tends to trick our minds into thinking that we've accomplished it already. So I want to just stay focused on my order of things and follow, like I mentioned, God's plan, and just listening to what my intuition is telling me and following that as my guide. And the coaching and the mentoring and my podcast, my YouTube channels, multiple. I might even create a new one after this. Because honestly, it's really difficult for me to just sit back and do certain things without the thought of how can this make me money? And that's my entrepreneurial spirit. My mind, my brain is just built that way. It always has been. Even when I was partying back in the day, I got to a point where I was just like, well, I'm done with partying. How can I make money? I remember standing against the wall at a party at the Duplex here in San Francisco, one of my favorite bars, clubs that shut down. But I remember we used to go there frequently. And I sat back one weekend and I was like, yes, the same people, same music. How can I benefit from this financially without constantly losing money every weekend? So I've always thought like this. And what I'm getting at is like this idea I got last night will allow me to just have leisure time, but also find a way to possibly monetize it. And keep in mind, not everything has to have a dollar amount attached to it. Do we need money? Absolutely. And I will be talking about money a lot on this channel, so stay tuned because I enjoy talking about it. Debt, wealth, financial education, generational wealth, sustainability, all of that. So hit that subscribe button because we're going to get into it. But in my journey, I'm kind of bouncing all over the place, but basically I'm in a place right now where I'm transitioning out of what I've been doing for the last 5 years into a whole new territory. And I'm doing my best to stay in the order that I have it, or that I feel like my intuition, my soul, and God has told me to do it in order. And that goes back to having patience and it not being so rigid or attached to every outcome or every plan. Like, I know it's all going to happen, and sometimes when we set New Year's resolutions, I think the misconception with New Year's resolutions is that if I don't accomplish it this year, it's a failure, or if I don't make New Year's resolutions, I'm a failure. When in actuality, life is life. Life is gonna life. You are gonna go. Life is gonna keep going. But just know you do have the power to set the tone and go in the direction you most desire and what is actually made for you. And that's regarding the people you surround yourself with, the jobs or the career, the business you decide to pursue, the amount of money you desire to make, the clothes you wear. I could get into clothes in a whole nother topic. By the way, shout out to Manuia. Manawia Support Services in Independence, Oregon. This is my cousin's business and they are rocking it out there. So shout out to them. I just came back from Oregon from their 1-year anniversary gala, which was amazing. I love you guys. So shout out to you guys, Manawia Support Services. Follow them on Instagram, visit them online if you are in need of support services for yourself or a family member. They are amazing. Check them out. I lost my train of thought, but I'm back. I remembered what I wanted to talk about. So I was talking about clothes. I had recently lost some weight. At the top of a year ago today, I was sitting at home, hella sick, had the C19 and the Omarion, and it really just shifted my whole mindset. It scared the hell out of me, and I was like, from this point on, I will not take advantage of life. I'm going to do and pursue everything that I desire and that is calling me and that was made for me. People, places, things, all of that. And through that journey, I was working out every day. And it's funny because I didn't lose the weight from working out. It was from getting my teeth done and also getting sick from my trip in Mexico on the very last day coming home. So I was out for a solid week and just everything flushed out. And then once I got my teeth done, I thought it was going to be another tidbit. Like I said, I'm going to get into this in future episodes. But when I got my teeth done, I thought I was going to leave with the finished product. My naive self, this is why it's important to advocate and ask a lot of questions before you commit to something major. Things can feel right, things can look right, they could even sound right. But if there's still something in you that's curious or unsure about something, ask the questions. Make a note in your phone where you just jot the question down and then present those questions when the time is right. Or make the time, because most of the time people are so busy, they aren't thinking about you. So that goes back to advocating for yourself as well. But clothing. So I had gone through this whole teeth journey for almost 3 months and pretty much lost summer and most of my fall, just being home, isolating, learning. And this is where I rediscovered the new path I was going to take. And I lost a bunch of weight. So I even dropped down in pant sizes, things like that. My shirts were fitting better. Hoodies were loose. My sweats were all too big. And I was starting to feel those like feelings. They were quiet. And I'm glad all of the work I've been doing and even working out again and having gone through what I did last year at the top of the year, getting sick, all of that mind change and shift strengthened me to the point where when I was feeling insecure or not really accepting the fact that I had lost all this weight and body dysmorphia and even having a whole new grill, I was just like, this is the new me. Like, I was quick to embrace this new version of me and was like, I'm going to take care of this version of me today and moving forward. So when it came down to clothes, I haven't gone shopping in forever. Like, I'm the type that I love fashion. I love clothes. Like, I have folders in my phone, but I've always felt a bit insecure about wearing certain garments because I just felt like it either didn't look right or it'd be too tight in certain areas here, or, you know, my calves would be too big for certain shoes or boots or pants. So I kind of just suppressed and didn't even think about changing my style. Like, I would hint at certain looks, but I never went all the way through. Like, I was wearing black all the time just because it was slimming. I had the same pants. I had multiple pairs of the same pants because they fit the best and they were the most comfortable. When I sat down, when I walked, you know, there was no chafing. They fit my calves right. So anytime I found clothes that fit right, I would just almost buy in bulk because I didn't want them to run out, or, you know, if they got discontinued, I at least knew I had an extra supply. Then I'm pretty sure that could be a whole other conversation of scarcity mindset in future episodes. But basically, after I lost the weight, I wasn't until right before Christmas I had finally gone shopping for myself, and I was like, you know what, I should switch it up a little bit, you know. And I didn't believe that I had lost that much weight to the point where I dropped a whole pant size, and I should go buy new pants. And I did just that, and I brought them home, and I was like, tried them on with the tags, had the receipt just in case, because there was still that part of me that was insecure of like, oh, what if it don't fit right, or what if it doesn't look right, or what if I'm not comfortable? And I had to just, you know, keep encouraging myself and just embrace it. And they fit. And it just woke up this whole other part of my brain, my heart, my spirit that I had kind of just put asleep. You know, going back to getting my teeth done, and how if you desire something bad enough, you can make it happen. But if you spend your time or don't spend any time feeding into that commitment or that goal or that desire, God and the universe are going to take you in other directions that may not align with you. So if you don't spend the money on you, God and the universe are going to spend it for you. And I know for me, bills need to be paid, but that's not all I'm trying to spend my money on. Okay. So yeah, I felt fly in my new pants, my new shirt. Even throughout the whole year, I started incorporating more color in my wardrobe, even if it was just a different t-shirt or different hoodie or sweats. I made sure to just experiment with different color combinations, and not just storing photos in my folders, but actually applying those looks and finding ways that I could incorporate those styles into my style, and finding my style again, you know, not just because of my size, but because of the way I feel on the inside. So going back to just reprogramming, reframing New Year's resolutions, I know a lot of us want to lose weight, get back in shape, and you know, make more money, travel more, and do the most. And I say go for it. Why not? Like I said, I read the 12-week year. I read a lot of books last year. I'm actually going to put the link to my most recent podcast episode. I also have a YouTube video on it of some of the books I read last year and how they've impacted my life. But one of them in particular, all of them shifted my whole mindset and way of thinking and taking action. But the 12-week year shifted my perspective in terms of how to make use of my time wisely without burning out. And through that whole process, I was like, it gave you like actionable steps to take. And I'll put the link in the description as well for you guys to go check out that book, read it, listen to it, apply it. One thing about me, I used to hate reading. Now I love it. I have several books that I'm excited to read. And I used to just get all these books just for the aesthetic purposes and never read them. And especially a book that required you to do work, forget about it. But today, if you look at all my books that have questions and workbooks and pages to write on, full Post-its, all of that. And that's because I've just been taking it more serious. And when it comes to New Year's resolutions, just always be working on your goals. Have a goal, set a date when you want to do it. What are some actionable steps you could take in the long run? And then how can you break down that bigger goal into shorter steps? And every day, that's your plan. Like, this is when I'm going to execute this plan to double my income, to be able to afford a new fashion style. Maybe that requires you to go sell your whole wardrobe now and take that money and then buy new clothes with that, or thrifting, Poshmark. I'll also put the links to my Poshmark store. I'm selling a lot of stuff because one, they don't fit. 2, it's time for a new look, new feel, new vibes, new energy. And a lot of the clothes and the shoes that I have hold a lot of old energy that I'm just ready to release. And it's one of my side hustles, reselling clothes and things. And what did I recently sell? I recently sold a Giants jacket, my Jordans, my shoes, a bunch of stuff. So go check out my store, link in the description, and start your own store. And then boom, you have a business. We can get into more of the how to start a business steps in future episodes. But what I'm getting at, to sum it all up, I was trying to make this video short, but I think I'm approaching like over 20 minutes. But let's wrap it up. And once again, shout out to Manawia Support Services. Thank you guys for the crew neck. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Yay. To sum it up, success is what you define it to be. It's not what the media tells you success is. It's not what people on Instagram or social media tell you it is. It's what you make it to be. If that means taking a nap every day is your marker of success, then you're winning. And celebrate your wins. Big, small, today, tomorrow, every day. We win at something every day. And when you focus on the wins and the overflow and the abundance over the lack, you'll start to feel a lot better. It doesn't say that it makes life perfect or it takes away all the bad feelings or the bad experiences or the sad moments or tears. It just allows you to experience that greater joy more often and helps you to work through those moments when they do occur. And keep feeling your feelings. That is always going to be the foundation, is just to keep feeling your feelings. Give yourself time to process things. But into this new year, as you're setting your goals, you're setting the tone, give yourself grace. Be patient with yourself. Breathe. I don't think we breathe. I did a lot of breath work exercises last year. And when I say a lot, more than 5. But it made me realize that we don't breathe as deep and often as we need to. I think a lot of our breath is shallow or compromised or just unconscious. And I think we should take the time to breathe and inhale and exhale a lot deeper to improve our quality of life and to be more present and in tune with our bodies. And so as you continue to set the tone for the new year, as you're setting your New Year's resolutions, dream big, for sure. Always like the most extravagant thing, the most outlandish, the most outrageous thing you could possibly think of. And go for it. It may not happen this year. It may not happen ever. But the journey to getting to that point and learning yourself and rediscovering yourself, and maybe that will unpack and open up doors to the path or the goals that you truly, truly desire. There's a whole other world of things that I haven't done and places I haven't seen, people I haven't met, or people I do know, but I just don't know as well, and that goes into if you want to be a better friend, if you want to be a better daughter, son, person, whatever the case may be, you have that power to control your narrative and your every destination you go to and how you're going to experience that and how it's going to feel for you. So you are enough. You're amazing. And this year is going to be great. There will be ups, there will be downs, but we are in this together. We were preparing for the best, and we are prepared for anything and all in between. So thank you for another episode. This is me being consistent with YouTube. This is me putting in the reps, even if people don't watch, even if it's just me, my mom, and Oprah watching, or Beyonce watching. Hey, Beyonce. It's all good. I'm building my consistency. I'm building my habits. I'm having fun. And I'm grateful for you. Go to fiyahlife.com, add me on social media. I'm posting more on @FiyahLife on Instagram and TikTok. And of course, YouTube. I love YouTube with a passion. And my goal is to just continue to build consistency and see where it takes me. There are other goals, there are other milestones and areas I want to explore, but for now, it's just, if I don't show up, nothing happens. If you don't show up, nothing happens. So with that said, fearless individuality yields abundant healing. @FiyahLife here on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, wherever, I'm there. And daily vlogging, it's happening. I think tomorrow I'm going to be outside, depending on the weather. It's pretty bad weather right now around the country. Well, at least here in the Bay Area and everywhere I seem to visit. So anyway, until the next one, peace.